After years of silence, Juanita Bynum has finally broken her silence about what really happened with T.D. Jake. The revelation is shocking, deeply personal, and has left fans, churchgoers, and the gospel community stunned. You won't believe the details she shared, the emotions she revealed, and the truth that has been hidden for decades. This is the story behind one of gospel's most talked about relationships, and it's far more complicated than anyone imagined. Juanita Bynum has long been recognized as one of gospel music and ministry's most powerful voices. Known for her fiery preaching, passionate worship, and candid insights, she has inspired millions of believers over the years. But behind the spotlight, her relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes has remained shrouded in mystery, rumor, and speculation until now. In this video, we are going to uncover what really happened between Juanita Bynum and T.D. Jake. You will hear details that have never been publicly revealed before, explore the context behind their interactions, and gain insight into the personal and spiritual challenges they both faced. You won't believe the events she described, the emotions she shared, and how this story has impacted the gospel community for decades. We will examine the timeline of their relationship, the moments that caused public speculation, and the private experiences that have finally come to light. This is where it gets interesting. From moments of admiration and mentorship to tension, misunderstanding, and spiritual conflict, the story is far more layered than the headlines have ever suggested. By the end of this video, you will understand not only what happened between Juanita Bynum and T.D. Jakes, but also why this revelation matters. You will see how faith, ministry, and human emotion intersect in ways that are rarely discussed openly in the gospel world. Stay with us because the truth behind this story is eye-opening, emotional, and in some cases shocking. To fully understand the dynamics between Juanita Bynum and T.D. Jakes, it is important to go back to the beginning. Their paths first crossed during the height of Bynum's rise in the gospel world, a time when her fiery preaching and passionate worship were gaining national attention. She had already established herself as a powerful speaker and singer, captivating audiences with her message of revival, personal empowerment, and spiritual awakening. T.D. Jakes, already a household name in the ministry world, had built a reputation for visionary leadership and mentorship. He was widely respected not only for his sermons and books, but also for his ability to guide and shape emerging gospel leaders. When their paths crossed, there was an immediate recognition of mutual respect and shared purpose. Both were committed to advancing the gospel and inspiring transformation in the lives of believers. According to accounts from close associates and ministry insiders, their initial interactions were professional and grounded in mentorship. T.D. Jakes saw potential in Juanita Bynum, not just as a worship leader, but as a prophetic voice capable of stirring revival across the country. Bynum in turn admired Jake's leadership, his deep understanding of Scripture, and his ability to inspire large audiences. At first, their relationship was a blend of guidance, mutual respect, and shared spiritual goals. However, as their professional relationship deepened, so did the complexity of their personal interactions. Insider reports suggest that there were moments of tension, miscommunication, and differing expectations. These were not dramatic scandals in the public eye, but subtle private dynamics that gradually shaped their story. Some close friends observed that Bynum and Jake were navigating a delicate balance between mentorship, spiritual partnership, and personal boundaries, a balance that was not always easy to maintain. Bynum's recent revelations shed light on how early admiration and respect evolved over time. She described feeling both supported and challenged by Jake's acknowledging the role he played in her spiritual and professional development, while also hinting at moments of frustration and misunderstanding. These early experiences laid the groundwork for a relationship that was far more layered than most people realized. One of the most fascinating aspects of their early interactions was how public perception began to diverge from private reality. On the outside, the ministry community and gospel audiences saw a harmonious partnership, a powerful alignment of two spiritual voices. But behind the scenes, there were subtle tensions, moments of disagreement, and emotional complexity that remained hidden from public view. Bynum has indicated that much of this private dynamic contributed to misunderstandings that later fueled rumors and speculation in the media. The stage was set for a relationship that would inspire admiration, controversy, and curiosity. What began as mentorship and collaboration gradually became a mix of spiritual partnership, emotional connection, and personal challenge. For years, the public only saw the surface, the uplifting ministry events, the joint appearances, and the mutual encouragement. But the reality, as Bynum reveals now, was far more intricate with layers of trust, disappointment, and spiritual struggle that only those closest to them could truly understand. And here's the part that adds intrigue. According to Bynum, some of the most defining moments of their relationship happened during times when they were not in the public eye, in private conversations, ministry meetings, and personal reflections. These moments, she explains, reveal the real depth of their connection and the factors that eventually led to tension and separation. As with many relationships that mix personal, professional, and spiritual elements, the partnership between Juanita Bynum and T.D. Jake began to encounter cracks as their paths evolved. What started as mutual respect and spiritual mentorship eventually faced tension, miscommunication, and emotional complexity. This turning point is where the story becomes both compelling and revealing, shedding light on dynamics that were previously hidden from the public eye. According to Bynum's recent revelations, one of the first sources of tension was differing visions and expectations. While both shared a commitment to advancing the gospel, their approaches often clashed. Bynum's style was bold, fiery, and direct, emphasizing emotional transparency and raw spiritual expression. Jake's approach, by contrast, leaned toward strategic leadership, measured guidance, and vision-driven ministry. Early on, this combination was productive, but over time, it created friction. Moments that Bynum perceived as supportive sometimes felt restrictive, while actions that Jake believed were guidance sometimes felt controlling to her. Another factor that contributed to the turning point was personal boundaries and emotional intensity. Ministry relationships, especially between two highly spiritual and passionate individuals, often blurred the lines between professional mentorship and personal influence. Bynum admitted that she sometimes struggled to navigate her own emotions while respecting the authority and position of Jake. Conversely, Jake was balancing mentorship with leadership responsibilities, which occasionally created misunderstandings or unintended tension. The public first became aware of possible tension through rumors and subtle signals.